man. You already know what it is. We are back with another installment of the Make It Make Sense podcast. I am your host, G Watts. I got my co-hostess with me and my co-host in the building.
It's your girl, Black Rain, aka Rain the Queen.
Yes, sir. Kim on here.
And as usual, we are here to stimulate your mind. And today we have a very special guest in the building by the name of June. Give it up for June one time, y'all.
Yes, sir.
How we doing, y'all?
How you doing, my guy?
I'm gonna let the people know exactly who you are, you know, what you specialize in, you know, give a little, you know, the whole nine.
All right. So yeah, my name is Junius Lewis. I'm one of the founding members of the Source Enterprise, also CEO of Red Gun Rentals. And I just wanted to come here and share my story with you guys.
That's what's up.
All right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna hop right into it. So, first question of the day for you, Mr. Jones. Who or what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
All right. So that question can get really tricky, but many people inspired me and a lot of things. But I'd say one thing for sure was my brother and my cousin's inspiration to be better. Seeing them want to better themselves just inspired me to just want to fall within that bandwagon, if that makes sense. Just constantly seeing them go to the gym with that discipline every morning and just go to work and come home, just apply their time into mentorships and acquiring more knowledge. I too fell into that route. So me taking my time to sit down and take those courses with them, I fell in love with credit. So I started to see how credit can benefit someone's life. So I'd say, my brother and my cousin Vaughn is really who made me want to take this road into entrepreneurship.
So, you know, from like when you started, you know, after you got inspired, how has that journey been for you? You know?
That journey it's been one journey. It's been a beautiful journey, let me say that. So I don't regret not one thing, honestly. One thing for sure, I knew nothing about credit starting 2 years ago. 2019, I knew nothing about credit. Going into 2020, that's when I actually started to put time into acquiring knowledge about credit. So now I'm speeding this long story short for you guys, basically. So now I knew a little something about credit because growing up, I was always afraid. I was taught to be afraid of credit because my family also didn't know about credit. So no one was there to really teach us how good and how beneficial it can be for our lives. So after I acquired that knowledge and I started leveraging my credit to acquire free flights, car rentals, and hotel stays, and I've been able to leverage my credit to start my own business, it's just been one great journey.
Okay. You know, so let's talk about it, guys. You know, if you guys have any more questions, follow-up questions for the questions that I'm about to ask.
I would say in my mental, right, like you say, it takes like a long time to understand yourself, you feel me? To understand who you are as a person, you feel me? You know, there's multiple leverage of like scared of like you doing what you want to do, you know, people not understanding you and how you feel like, you know, there's a lot of people in your circles that might tell you this is not it for you, and you overcome those situations, you know, as you try to gain knowledge, you know, because I'm pretty sure you have best friends, you have people around you, people that you don't have no more around you and stuff like that, you know, how do you you know, clock them out? How do you tell them like, yo, you're not best for me, you know, I move on, you feel me?
All right, so I don't tell anybody that you're not best for me because that's just, you know, it's just soul crushing. You can't really just tell somebody, yo, this ain't it. You can't talk anymore. You can just gradually just disconnect. Okay. You just disconnect yourself from said person. So if this person isn't really aligning to your goals, say for he keeps contacting you like, yo, let's go to this party tonight. I got this group of friends we can do this with. You can just let them know, yo, I have this course that I'm taking. Why aren't you taking with me instead?
Right.
Because this can be beneficial for our future and I really think this can be great for us. He can either tell you, sure, or he can just tell you, nah, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. So
Catch you next time.
exactly. That way, it'll be a gradual disconnect from the friendship.
Right.
It's not you letting go. It's you letting them know that's not what I'm into right now. There's a time and place for that, but right now I'm focused on my future.
Right. We all got those points in our lives where we outgrow, the people we love. Doesn't mean like I don't still have love for you. It's just, I've outgrown what you're still doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm at a different stage in my life.
Yeah.
So it's all up to you. Do you want to grow or you want to stay stuck in the same spot? But
no, let me ask one more question.
Okay.
Do you guys have any friendships with people that you build a relationship with, and you see them in a struggle, and they still not being in tune with what you trying to tell them to do?
Mm-hmm.
So yes and no, because we make new relationships. We meet new people every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day is a new day. So say for hardships come all the time. So it's not your job to help someone out of their hardships.
Mm-hmm.
You can guide them, you can be there for them, but you can't put that responsibility on yourself all the time.
Right.
You can't hold yourself accountable because that can also destroy you too.
Right.
Yeah.
Best thing you can do is be there for that
Because
person.
like for me, I know so many people, but I could give them good advice, but I can't hold their hands for the good advice I give them. You feel me?
Right, and we all have those
and we
people.
have those people all around us. You know what I mean? We can't hold your hands just because I'm doing good. I can't hold your hands over time.
Right.
And stuff like that. Just because I'm doing well doesn't mean I didn't try to help you out for what it is.
So now with that, we try to lead by example.
Right.
We try to just continue preaching the right word, even if it sounds like we're a broken record. Even if it sounds like I'm on repeat. I'm gonna keep saying it because it didn't take me one day, one time to learn it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hear it a couple times. I had to do my research to actually see the benefits in it in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you just continue to lead by example, show them how good it can be, show them how great life can be if you just shift your mindset real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
So there's a quote, and it has to do with like a horse and water. I think it's you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink, or something like that. Basically, like he was saying, you can't take on that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how some people, they wanna save the world almost, and it's like you can't technically save the world, especially not by yourself, but you can change the world. So I feel like if you shift, in your mindset a little bit, okay, just know what you're capable of, you know what I'm saying, and what you're not capable of. You can't change somebody, or you can't make somebody do something that they're not ready for, or that they don't want to do, that they don't see value in. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when you start to realize that it's not your job, then a lot of the weight is lifted off of your shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So to transition to the next topic, let's talk about it, right? We would like to know. Well, I would definitely like to know. I know you guys want to get put on game too, right? So I know you specialize in credit building, right? Credit repair. What would you call it?
I would say all things credit.
All things credit. All right, there you go. Makes perfect
credit.
sense. So this the man right here. If you want to know more about credit, at the end of the show, he's gonna give you all his contact, all his information. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Get in contact with him, and he's gonna get you right. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. Why is credit so important? Why do we need it? You know what I'm saying?
All right. Credit.
Mm-hmm.
Credit. Let's start back in the days, before the days of cash, before there was any cash, liquid currency. So, in the beginning of time, there was credit. You would trade goods. You would give somebody a goat for some chickens, basically. So, before cash, there was credit. The world was built on credit. Countries operated off of credit. So, going forward, when banks started lending out money, they went off of word of mouth. They went based off of how popular you was in town. So they would ask somebody else who had a great relationship with them and say, do you know this person? How well did you know him? Such and such. And that would determine how much funding you would get. There was no credit score. So now that there's a credit score, they're judging us by 3 numbers, ranging from 450 to 850. That's how we're getting judged nowadays when we walk into a bank. They don't teach us this stuff in school, which I really think it's really important for us to be taught this type of things under financial literacy, because this is how the world is being ran nowadays. When it's time to start a business, say for you wanted to start a business, be an entrepreneur, you don't know that you can apply for credit and start your business from a loan instead of actually dumping your hard-earned cash straight into your business and actually being in the negatives instead of collecting income. So, for example, say you're fresh out of college, you go apply for a student loan, you go to school, you graduate, now you have a hefty student loan to pay off and a fresh report because you weren't taught about building your credit score. Now you're looking to apply for a mortgage, get an auto loan, but you can't do any of these things because you don't have a strong credit profile. So this whole time you were going to school, paying for school to learn how to make money, but you can't make any money because the world isn't accepting you. Things like this is what destroys people. It literally makes them go crazy sometimes because now you're falling down on hard time, you're in debt, and you're continuously racking up hard debt because if you apply for a credit card or a loan, you pick up a hard inquiry. And out of desperation, that's what people often tend to do. And out of desperation, people go apply for an auto loan, and 9 times out of 10, a dealership is running you up to 10 to 15 different banks, giving you 10 different inquiries. So now they're ruining your credit, just trying to get you a car because the salesman makes money off of selling you this car. So it's a dealership. So they were doing their best to get you this auto loan while hurting your credit at the same time. So it's really important that we're taught how to build our credit profile because that's how we're able to survive in this world. We can't buy a house with just straight cash. They're gonna look into your credit profile. So how am I able to live in this world? I'm gonna have to pay rent, which is more than a mortgage. In order to get a mortgage, I gotta have a strong, good credit profile, which you don't even teach me about in college that I'm paying for, at school also, or high school.
Right, those are things that should be implemented in the school's curriculum.
But you have to wonder why it's not,
right.
you know, because like the public school system, at least, like this is how I see it, they're not teaching people so that they can go and become entrepreneurs. They're teaching people so that they can become workers.
Exactly, to work for the government. So now we blame our parents because our parents didn't know this when they weren't taught this, because it's our parents' job to build us up from young and teach us about this, and this is how the schools see it. Our parents are supposed to teach us. But us as a Black community, we don't have access to these things. We don't have access to a lot of things that other people do. So we just tend to fall down in the loophole, a little rat race, and we just blame each other all the time, blame our parents for not doing this for us, doing that, instead of changing our mindset real quick and learning how to do this to pass down to the community. So now everybody can do this. Everybody can pass it down. Let's be better, let's be great.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, instead of blaming our parents, let's be the change that we want to see, you know what I'm saying? And you know, a person like you, an individual like you is taking that first step. You know what I'm saying?
So now, you know, like for me, you know, I have to say, you know, I seen June, you know, I know June for a minute. I mean, you know, he's a good person, you know, he does, you know, doing this for, you know, people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, where you see you going forward, you know, because I mean, there's more to you learning, you know, what you're learning right now. There's more to it, you know what I mean?
Honestly, that's something ask myself all the time, because as I learn more, I strive for more. So the more information I receive, I realize there's more that you can do. So I'm just knowledge hungry. There's something in me, there's a deep flame of drive that's just, nothing's gonna put out.
It keeps you going.
It just keeps me going. It
Like a
keeps me
flame.
more. And it's not even just for me, it's for my family. Because where I come from, you know, a single parent home, it was me, my mother, and my grandmother basically taking care of me and my twin brother and my younger sister. So seeing how she grinded and how hard she worked just to be able to put a roof over our head and food on our table, coming from a foreign country, just made me realize how lucky I am to be able to have access to all of these things that she couldn't.
That's
So
real.
here I am trying to do the same thing for her
Right.
and for everybody else around me. So my goal isn't just for me. My goal is much bigger than just me.
Right.
I'm trying to touch 1 million souls, not make $1 million bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
See, that's
real.
that's real. That's real.
That's real spill right there.
Yeah, the sniper.
I had to look well, you know.
So, you know, being able to, you know, provide a community a service, right? How do you come up with your pricing? Like, what's the strategy for that?
All right, so before, let me tell you something real quick. So I'm all about, yo, here's the game for free. Here, take it for free. And in the beginning, that's exactly what I was doing. I'm dropping game for free, giving everybody my knowledge for free. And hey, if you see me at the bar, you see me out in public, and I have that time and you pick my brain, I'm giving you game for free.
Right.
Knowledge is out there for you to seek. That's it. Knowledge is power. So when it comes down to pricing, somebody told me, when you don't put a price on something, people think it's too good to be true, and people think it's not worthy enough. Somebody told me that I should never offer my information for free because my time and effort went into there, and as well, it's not worth anything now. Nobody will take it serious. So the way I price everything is I make it affordable for the community, and I make it so that only serious people, only people who really do want to improve themselves, who want to invest into themselves, would come and learn this and acquire this information. So that's how I price my packages. So if I'm offering $500 for a consultation, I'm giving you $1 million worth of game. I'm giving you enough game to go ahead and live off of your credit cards for 3-4 years without working a job, because that's what I'm planning to do.
I'll take it for 500.
That's real, man. We gonna switch code. You guys have any questions to have something based off of that? Off that question?
I mean, like for me, like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we all have, like, you know, endeavors, things that we focus on, you know. June, you know, he's somebody, you know, I look up to, you know, even though, you know, he could probably look up to me sometimes too, but the way he, you know, create his agendas, I respect that, you know. And whatever he's doing right now, I respect everybody to, like, you know, check him out.
Definitely.
Make sure, you know, tap in with the credit card.
Can you, like, okay, so I love everything that you're talking about, but I feel like people don't take it seriously, or they feel like this is something that they can put off, you know, for later in life, you know, and they don't, like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people don't see the importance of, like, credit until it's, like, maybe too late, or until they, like, really, really need something, you know what I'm saying, until they're tired of paying rent and they want to apply for a mortgage and then they get denied because their credit is not good. So, like, how would you rate the importance of credit, like, from a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
And you said it with conviction, but, like, I really feel like people don't take it seriously.
Right. So me, myself, I went from a 450 credit score. I had student loan on my credit report that I had to pay. Didn't make a payment on it because I dropped out of school, but we can talk about that on a different podcast. I had dentist bills that I had to pay. I had a T-Mobile bill that I had to pay. You know, that's not getting me convicted online now. So I'm gonna stop right there. But yeah, my credit score was at 450. because like I said, I knew nothing of credit. I applied for one credit card at K Jewelers back in like 2013, because you know I wanted some jewelry real quick. It was like $250 credit card. I made not one payment on there, so it ruined my credit report since 2013. And I repaired my credit back in 2020. 2020 in November, that's when I finished applying all the knowledge. I started working on my credit profile at 450. 4 months later, in March, I hit 806. So I went from 450 to an 806 credit score in 4 months. So now after that, I went ahead and went, what should I do with my credit score? I went and leveraged my credit, did some more research, decided to run a car rental company. So I went and acquired 5 cars in 2 weeks with no money down. So I got 5 cars, including, 6 cars. So I went and got 6 cars, Corvette, Maserati, a Maybach. I'm probably the only person in New Jersey with a Maybach right now when we talk about that, with no money down. So credit changed my life, and I've seen it change so many other people's lives, and I'm continuously changing people's lives as I go. I know for sure credit is important because that's all this world runs off of, credit.
Pretty much.
You can't get anything big in this real world without having some credit behind it. You're not going to acquire a house with straight cash. So,
and let me close out this conversation out before we go to the next topic. You feel me? Like with credit, you feel me? I would say that's like, you know, in America, you feel me? We like us foreigners or us, you know, being, you know, in the system that we, you know, we don't know what's going on. You feel me? There's a lot that we could do with credit that we don't even know about, because we just want to like buy everything because we got a credit card like we like 16 years old guy. Oh shit, that's about it. It's not it. You know what I mean? Just take what you get with the credit thing and bleed into it. Cause I had like a 750 credit card when I was like 16 years old. You feel me? And I blew that shit. Because I didn't know what the fuck that shit was.
And it's never too late.
You know, 6 credit cards. You know, 10K here, 10K there. Blow that shit. But why? Because I didn't have no knowledge on that shit. You feel me? The system, the media is not telling you what, you know, the school's not telling you what's supposed to be done with when you have those leverage. You feel me? When you have those opportunities that you could build credit and you could, like, you know, you could execute those things that you could, like, you know, buy a house. Nobody thinking about buying a house. Nobody thinking about, you know, certain things like, you know, stuff like that. But we always fall into, like, you know, narratives like, oh, just because we have this card or we have this the leverage, damn, I could buy whatever I want. But now when we gotta pay it back, it's like, shit, I fucked up.
Well, that's where you come in.
We said it's never too late. So.
It's never too late to, you know, to come back. You know, so get the sauce. You know, get the sauce involved.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all link in with the sauce. Know what I'm saying? We definitely won't be dropping gems on y'all, but you know, we got a pricing on that. So he gonna give you his contact at the end of this, you know, segment, and then, you know, y'all can contact him. But you know, let's switch gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play this game called 5-second rule. So basically, you got 5 seconds to answer a question.
Oh shit!
If you get it wrong, you gotta take a shot. You up for that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's do it. All right, so 5 seconds.
Yeah, the guess is first.
All right, so you go ahead, Rain. You do the honors.
Oh, yay. We can't look.
Can't see it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read
You
the
on time.
question. You're going to hear the beep, beep, beep. That means you got 5 seconds, okay?
Count down.
Okay, so should we do this or should we skip this one? Because we did this already.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to skip. So this is the sound you're going to hear, right?
We'll count down to 5 seconds.
And all right?
You get it wrong.
So here we go. Name 3 member states of the European Union.
Oh nah, I'm gonna put it. Y'all wilding. What type of questions are these? Those credit-based questions.
Yeah, I don't know what this question is.
So take a shot.
Just take this shot. Man. Just take this shot, man.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, it's for what?
Yeah, you can read it.
Last word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, go ahead.
What the fuck is that, bro? Skip that shit.
Name 3 Smurfs.
Wait, oh, nah, hell no. Bro, you gotta read the question and then press the
too
clock.
early.
Alright.
What's wrong with you, man? You gonna give me like a second?
You gotta pick a different question.
Wow.
I got time to think about that one.
Okay.
Lunch trying to cheat. Look at him.
Alright.
Read the question and then.
Alright. Chill.
You thought to get drunk.
Come on,
Alright. Name 3 famous Johns.
John Cena, John Stamos, John Legend.
That's
Thank you.
easy.
Hey.
Thank you.
I'm still taking a shot though for the team. You're.
I'll pass that one for him.
Alright,
So-
so
So,
you can read
pass that?
mine. You said what? You passed that down?
oh, I thought I was playing all questions. Okay, thank you.
Press the check.
All right.
Reveal. And then you gonna read the question.
Name 3 units of measurement.
Inches, miles, radius, Caesar,
What?
lunch.
Radius.
I have no idea. I get nervous, so I start saying random
Yeah,
shit.
you did it the first shoot.
Inches.
Miles. Foot.
Fuck.
Could have had it. Come on, you gotta
Yeah.
take that shot with me, girl.
Oh, okay.
She said
Yeah, I
radius.
forgot. Yeah, I'll take.
Radius is probably another word for
Centimeters.
measurement.
Oh man, I really fucked that up. Okay.
Alright, wands, right? You might as well do wands.
Alright, you ready, Juan? You fucked me up.
Hold on. Chill.
Alright. Oh, you didn't even guess it. My bad. Anyways. Name 3 countries in the northern hemisphere.
Let's go start.
Jamaica.
What?
Africa.
What? Nigga, you can name Canada, Mexico,
He said North.
America.
He said North Hemisphere.
Northern Hemisphere, yeah.
Yeah.
He said Jamaica
He said
and
Jamaica.
That's
Africa.
Western. That's Western. Africa's not even in.
It's a whole continent.
What's the Western Hemisphere? Where?
So like there's
Like
the
Asia?
Western.
No, it's the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, we are in the.
I didn't tell y'all I dropped out of school.
Are
Yeah,
we going?
catch that part?
Let's do another round. You know what I mean?
Wait. You said West. You said Western. What was it? Western Hemisphere.
Northern,
Northern.
Mexico,
Shouldn't say that shit
Canada,
proudly.
and the U.S.
Oh shit. That's not it.
Oh God. Okay, so which one is you? Who's going?
I think June.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is good. This is perfect for
should
you.
get that.
You know what I'm
You got
saying? This is
John.
perfect
Come
for
on,
him.
man. I know you don't want to drink no more, so you know.
Look,
Make sure you get
you
that.
got this. I know you do. You good with numbers. Name 3 numbers that add up to 60.
30, 20, 10.
Oh, he got it though.
30, 20, 10.
That's 60, right?
Name 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it is 60.
Oh, you see, you got
Yeah,
it.
you got it.
You did. I read that wrong. I was thinking something
Because it
different.
says add up.
Wow. You see, and you
Yeah,
got it
you
and
got
stuff.
it.
He's like,
20, 30.
30 plus 20
Nigga,
50,
you
50
still
plus
counting.
70. Goddamn, once.
I'm
he's like,
I'm thinking.
see? Okay, so I want to read his.
Why? You just want me to drink, don't you?
Oh, wow. You should know this.
Right.
This is good. You got this.
Let's see.
Name 3 ways to become a millionaire.
Entrepreneurship, sports, gambling.
You gambled to $1 million?
Hey, some people, hey, that was, that's
Yo, one lottery ticket, you great.
Yeah.
Lottery, okay.
Too easy. I don't know.
Bro, it was not that easy, bro.
You can read his. You can read Watts.
That's easy. That's easy.
Watts is.
You always do that.
Name 3 ways of traveling to school or work.
Bus, train, car.
That was so fucking
Why
easy.
y'all getting the easy shit?
My shit wasn't that easy.
Alright, who next?
Rain, you can do rain.
Okay.
Name 3 gym exercises.
Oh shit.
Push-ups, squats, jumping jacks.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
So this shit.
Wait.
So y'all won't go one more round?
This
or something?
Hold on.
episode. This episode week.
You went.
I ain't drink at all.
No.
I drunk.
I can't
Yeah,
do
There
it.
you go.
this episode week.
You good?
Okay.
I can't do another round.
Ah, man.
They ain't drinking no
Yeah,
Ah, yo,
this
so,
episode
yo.
week.
with all this credit talk, you know what I'm saying, that's a lot of knowledge to take in all at once, you know what I'm saying? That's why we got hit up my man June so we could further, you know, get involved with this credit shit. But let's discuss the make it make sense topic of the day. You know what I'm saying? Our greatest strength. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
June.
Our greatest strength. I think our greatest strength is our mindset. Whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it, honestly. Because there's only one thing in this world for us, and it's whatever we want. Whatever you want, you can go get
June,
it.
parece um bacana, vamos ir fazer voz.
They gotta hate you. They gotta hate you.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Hear me out.
Yeah, we can hear you. Talk your
But
shit.
yeah, your mindset, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can get anything you want. Because that's the only issue within this world, because a lot of us, we get money every day. We have great jobs, good jobs, yet we still fall into debt because of our mindset. And we don't know this. It's often a hard battle for us to challenge with ourselves because, you know, it's hard. It's hard breaking out of habits. It's hard to get out of bad habits. So shifting into something new, something different, it's always going to be challenging. And that's definitely something I recommend everybody to do. Just focus on yourself. Give yourself an hour, 2 hours throughout the day to just focus on you and realize what do you really want.
I like that one. What about you, Rain?
Wow. I definitely agree with that. I do think that the mind it's so powerful, and I think that a lot of times we don't realize how powerful our minds are. And just like speaking things into existence. And of course with that you have to apply like radical action. You can't just like say, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like you have to take actionable steps in order to get to that, you know, end goal. So definitely the mind comes into play with that. And I'll just say too, a really good strength is understanding your weaknesses or like things that you can work on to become better, because ultimately that's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you better. So I think that's something that sometimes we're afraid to do, like introspection. We're afraid to look within and, you know, tweak certain things that'll ultimately be better for us or like make us grow. So I think that that's also something like that can be one of our greatest strengths, is like understanding our weaknesses and building, you know what I'm saying? To become stronger ultimately.
All right. What about you, Juan?
Shoot. For me, I would like go back to the you. I say June and Rain. Like, you know, everything plays in emotions. You know, those thoughts are like, you know, conversation that people play on their own selves. You know, like people don't understand like emotions. You know, it's layers to it. It's always like how you call it, like endeavors where people don't understand what crying is, what smiling is, what happiness is, and what blah 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 is. You feel me? So for me, I would say it's always for you to yourself to understand what the emotions are. And understand what's like, you know, what's around you, what you believe in, and you know what makes you happy, what makes you cry, what makes you happy, and all those realms of like understanding your people, yourself. You know, because somebody might cry around you, but you don't know why they cry. You know, but you don't know why they cry. You know, but that's their emotions, that's their happiness, that's their emotions, that's everything that goes around them. You know. But you yourself don't really know what's going on in those realms of like understanding, you know. So stuff like that is like, you know, neutral for me to understand other people on how, if I go to work, if I do this and that and third, I understand, you know, what self and emotion matters for a lot, you know.
All right, I really like those points of views.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Very important.
You said, what did you say, June? You said the mind,
Mindset.
and then you said understanding?
Well, I agreed with him,
Oh, okay.
and then yeah, like introspection, understanding your weaknesses, so that ultimately you can become stronger.
And then you said emotions.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm getting to you. Yeah.
Hey,
Going on. I was giving you
you
guys your flowers because I appreciated, your perspective.
Of course.
Now, for me, I would say self-discipline. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very crucial to have. Because just to piggyback on what you said about, habits. It's a lot of habits that we were taught growing up, and we took those things in, and it's kind of hard unlearning those habits. So having a discipline, and if you make up your mind and say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I used to do, but in order for me to get to the next level, I have to get rid of that mindset. I have to get rid of those old habits that I see involved in, and that can be a burden for some people, because they're so used to it. It's kind of hard to let it go. It's really like when you're so used to something, it feels comfortable. It's your comfort zone, so you always want to go back to it. It's like an addiction, So for you to have self-discipline, I feel like it takes a lot. You have to really do some self-healing and soul searching in order to be able to like be content. You know what I'm saying? In yourself, and then like focus and hone in on whatever you want to do and be assertive with. So having that self-discipline, I feel like it takes a lot. And if you're able to do that, I feel like, there's unlimited possibilities of what you can achieve, and anything's possible,
Let me say something real quick. How we do guest podcasts. Everybody got their own mental of thinking. You feel me? What you mean saying this, that me, I'm always like, positive thinking process. You feel me? We all have like, a idea of self, right? Everything that everybody just said is always about self. You feel me? So now conscious beings or like conscious thinking is like, how can we, be different to think about self? How can we think about self in a different way?
Yeah.
I would say, right? I would say, it's like even when you're speaking about yourself, I feel like you see a reflection of yourself in others. That's why sometimes when you're having conversations with people, you feel like they can relate to you. You might not relate to everybody, but we're all one race if you really want to think about it. You know what I'm saying? We all, depending what the conversation is, I want to.
The human race.
Right. We're gonna leave it at that, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
So you gotta say something.
Yeah, and in order to recognize yourself, like she said, you have to know your weaknesses. You can't really talk about yourself if you don't know yourself.
Right.
You don't know what you're afraid of, or what you don't know. Like if you're not afraid to say, I don't know this, like can you teach me? Then you can't really talk about yourself. You're not really talking about yourself. You just bring in something into existence that don't really create. Bring up a story.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm
saying.
That's some real shit.
It's a lot. Like there's a lot that. So what I was saying about introspection, I feel like this is so important because when you start having those conversations with yourself and then you tune into your inner voice, you can hear those self-limiting beliefs that you may have picked up. As children, we pick up a lot of things and we don't realize it until we're adults, until we're older. And I think that it's very important to recognize those self-limiting beliefs. Like, there's a lot of people, they spend money before they see them, or before they see it. So you spend it before you see it. You already spending next week's paycheck and it didn't even hit your account, right? That's like lack mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's like a self-limiting belief that a lot of us, we picked up. We've seen our parents do it. We see other people do it. So then we think that, it's natural, but all of that, it stems from fear. You know what I'm saying? Fear of not understanding money and fear of like not having money. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when we go, like I said, inside, and we look at these things, then we can become conscious of, okay, what am I doing and why am I doing this? Why am I spending like my whole paycheck, you know what I'm saying, before I even get it. And then ultimately, when you go and you fix those things, you're gonna become better. Your account is gonna grow because now you're gonna know how to, you know, manage money, and you're no longer afraid of money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we have like a money phobia, like we feel like we can't attain it. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from a lot of like limiting self-beliefs that we've picked up over time. So that's why I mentioned the whole thing about like introspection, because, you know, I had to go through it and I'm still currently going through it, you know, but what I'm finding is that money is energy. So like, it's gonna come back to you. If that's what you're emitting, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come back to you. Like, money literally can come from like the sky. Yeah, it can fall from the sky. Like I've seen it happen. I've experienced it happen. You know, a lot of times I feel like we hoard on to money, and sometimes we don't want to spend it because we feel like if we spend it, then we'll have less. But it's just like when you start to understand like how money really works, then it's just a beautiful thing in general. You know what I'm saying? So introspection is great. Understand your weaknesses, so ultimately you can get better.
All right. What's that? Any last words?
Well, that was mine.
Yeah, that's word.
I'm gonna say, if you guys wanna know more and see me drop some free gems, follow me on Instagram at June_the_source at DA source. So yeah, that's about it.
That's what's up.
And as usual, you know where you can find us at the Men's Podcast on IG. And you can hit the DMs up if you want us to discuss any questions or any topics. And make sure you tune into the YouTube videos. And also you can send us an email at themimspodcast@gmail.com. And on that note, this is the Men's Podcast, and we out.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you before we clock out. It's for me. Think of it either better intro, outro. Yeah, bad outro.
I did a bad outro. So do the outro.
All right, clocking out. You know.